Hello. Going to try to find the live stream on LinkedIn. Let me know in the comments when you guys are on. Okay, it just popped up on LinkedIn. And on Facebook as well. How are you guys? Thanks for joining me. Happy Thursday. What is going on in your world? I am excited you guys are here with me today. Let me know in the comments when you are with me. We will get started. I'm just making sure I have all my windows pulled up for you guys. Hey Mary, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for joining. Hope you're having a good day so far. So, as if you guys were with me last week, you were aware of my special announcements, which essentially is if you join me live on LinkedIn on these Thursday Ambitious Outcomes series, you will be entered to win a free LinkedIn mini makeover at the end of the month. So all you have to do is stay with me for the duration of this 30-minute session where I always pack in as much value as I possibly can for you guys, and just comment and engage, and you're going to be entered to win in that drawing that we'll have once a month. Hey Shiana, thanks so much for joining me. I'm excited you're here. So again, if all you guys have to do is comment and engage and hang out with me for the 30 minutes. And then at the end of the month, we're going to draw a random lucky winner to receive that mini LinkedIn makeover, which is going to include some headline ideas, some summary tips, and basically what you would need to optimize your profile. So stick with me here, and thank you guys for joining me. So today I wanted to, hi MD, thanks for hopping on. I wanted to talk about some content marketing for you guys and content in general. I know it's only been a few minutes here and some people are hopping on, but what I really want to help you guys with is just the content in general. So content marketing in general of, should you be posting content? How much content should you be posting? What should you be posting? What does that look like? And just helping you get a little bit more clear on that in general. So, because a lot of times in what we've seen is, people feel like they need to be posting content. And so they're just kind of throwing it up just for the sake of throwing it up. And I posted a video on LinkedIn yesterday that essentially explained that in like 23 seconds, right? So you can't just post content for the hell of it just because you need content. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but you shouldn't. So there's a right way and a wrong way to go about doing content marketing. And I feel like a lot of people just feel like they have to put something up because they need to seem legit and their competitors are doing it, so they're doing it too. And in my video yesterday, I talked about how you need to have your what, your why, your how, and all of these things clear before you jump into creating content. And while this is true, that's not 100% what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about, hey Rich, thanks so much for joining. Hope you are well. I want to talk about the concept in general of just content. Do you need to be posting content? How much content should you be posting, and on what channels? And then get into a little bit more of the types of, content topic ideas for you. So, it's interesting because you kind of have, hey Scott, you kind of have two sides here. You have the people that are spending a lot of time on content and they're not seeing it work for them. And then you have the people who aren't posting content at all and want to be posting content. And then you actually have a third side of that, which is people who are posting content that might be just low quality and they're just posting it for the sake of posting. So it is a balance between your time. So at Mod Girl, we work with a variety of different businesses, from small businesses where they are one-man shops. They might be a consultancy or an agency, or they might own a tech company and only have a few employees, or they could be larger, right? So we're talking, across the board. We work with a lot of small and medium-sized businesses. And I want you guys to realize that if you post content, even if it's engaging and amazing, people aren't just going to flood to you and say that they want to hire you. That's not really how content marketing works. It is a long-term game. So we're in the thought leadership space here at Mod Girl, and we help companies and individuals build up their thought leadership and become industry influential experts in their field, to where they have that trust and that credibility factor, and it's easier for them to close clients and people do come to them. So content marketing is amazing for that sort of thought leadership perspective and building up your thought leadership. With that said, if you are a startup or if you need clients ASAP, content marketing is not going to get you those clients right away. It is a long-term game. It is not a sprint, it is a slow jog. You have to build up to it. So when I see people posting all of this content and then they tell me that they're not happy with it and that they feel like they're wasting all of this time and it's not moving the needle, my question to them is, well, how much time are you spending on outreach? Are you spending the same amount of time on outreach? Are you spending less time? Are you spending more time? Because amazing content is really just validation and positioning yourself as the expert. It's not really this magical pill that brings all these new customers to you. And I am a huge advocate of content marketing. This is how I started my agency. This is how I grew my agency. And this is what we've been doing for years. So I am telling you guys this because it is not for everyone right off the bat to create amazing quality content consistently. It is not a good fit and a good idea for everyone to do that and spend lots of time on it, especially if you are in the startup stages or smaller, or you need to get more clients on your roster ASAP. Then you can go back and start working on your content. But you should be spending more time on outreach and building relationships than you are spending on content. And you guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments on, if you are posting content right now, if you want to be posting content, what you're finding. But we're working with, and we're hearing this from a lot of different people, and they're on so many different sides of the spectrum, from posting almost too much content and posting a ton of valuable content, and then not spending enough time on the other side building relationships and doing outreach. So you have to have both, or you should start with one or with the outreach, really, and not content. So the general rule of thumb is, when you're starting out and you want new clients, even if you're not starting out and you're just in a position where you need to focus on getting customers right now, have 5 pieces of quality content up on your profile, wherever that may be. So whether that is on LinkedIn, whether that is on Facebook, it doesn't matter, whether that's on Instagram. Okay, wherever your target market is, first of all, is where you should be hanging out. So all of your efforts should be put into where your people are. So with that said, you need to have at least a few pieces of quality content, period. But that doesn't mean that you have to be spending all of this time every single week coming out with quality content, especially if getting clients right now is your main focus. So if your main focus is 100% biz dev and getting clients, then you just need to have a handful of quality posts and quality content on your profile to build enough credibility and that trust factor to where when you reach out to people, they see that you know what you're talking about and that you are an expert in your field. Then you start the outreach. So when people are looking at your profile, again, this could be LinkedIn, it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, And then of course, email marketing is a whole other side of this. When it comes to outreach, you should be doing that in conjunction with the social media outreach, social selling, if you will. But which is a different topic, actually. That's the combination of using thought leadership with this, which is where this harmony comes in. Okay, that's the beauty of social selling. But the thing is if you guys are creating this content and you're not building up the relationships, so you're not growing your audience at the same time, then it's not really that effective, because the same people are seeing your content over and over again. Does this make sense? So if you're not building your connections on LinkedIn, for example, if you're not consistently, weekly, if not daily, which is what we're doing, growing your connections, building relationships, starting meaningful conversations with new people, then posting content isn't going to be as effective for you, because the same people are seeing it over and over again. And that's not how you grow. So there is this line. Hey, Michael, thanks for hopping on. Hope you're well. There is this fine line and this balance, really, between, hey, Sumit, yes, balance is key. That's exactly what I was about to say. There is a balance that you guys have to keep when it comes to, building your thought leadership and content and doing outreach at the same time. And this is why at Mod Girl, we do all of this together. So when clients hire us, we focus a lot on the outreach and building their connections on LinkedIn with high quality targets. So prospects that fit their exact target market, leveraging Sales Navigator and tools. And we go out there and we build these relationships. At the same time, we're posting content for them. We're engaging with other people. We're building up their thought leadership. But it doesn't work if you're not constantly growing your connections as well. And so before I get into the content topics, I wanted to make that crystal clear for you guys, because again, I am a huge advocate for content marketing. It has done wonders for my business and for my clients' businesses. But you have to be smart about it, and you can't just hop on the bandwagon because you see everyone else doing it, especially if you see influencers doing it and they're posting all this amazing content. Keep in mind that they probably have teams helping them with content, and they got to that point from hustling and grinding and building relationships. They didn't come out of the gate posting, twice a day and 5 videos a week right away. They didn't do that. They did that once they got to a certain level. And so I want you guys to realize that. Hey, Steve. Steve says, how much content is enough? Are you talking about content posts or content articles and videos? Very good question. So we can get into this now that I kind of went on my soapbox about being smart about creating content in the first place, because the last thing I want you guys to do is just go out there and create content for the sake of it. You have to have a plan of action, and you have to know what your goals are right now. Is it to build thought leadership in conjunction with growing your business, or do you strictly need clients right now? If you need to grow your business and you need clients ASAP, then you need to be really smart about the content you're putting out there and the time that you're spending. And you should be spending way more time reaching out to people and building relationships than you do posting content. Okay, rant over. Now we can get into the actual content and answering your question, Steve. So I love a combination of articles, videos, and short posts. If we're talking about LinkedIn here, which we typically are, articles don't, in what we found, so everything I'm telling you guys is my personal experience and what we found with clients. Articles don't perform as well as short posts and videos. With that said, a lot of videos that we do create less reach than some of our image posts. A lot of people that we're working with now are using GIFs, and those are doing really well because it catches people's attention. So you guys have to have a really good combination of all sorts of different types of content so you can test and figure out what people are resonating most with. And that's just content topics in general. The carousel images are super popular and stand out on LinkedIn. So you guys, I'm sure you've seen those carousel images where they're like graphics and they might have some data and some statistics on them or some tips. I know Gary Vee does this a ton, and a lot of other influencers do this, where you kind of like scroll through and you can kind of see the different images. Those work really well. Of course, those take way more resources. Short video clips work well, under a minute, typically, minute and a half. Yesterday I did one that was only like 30 seconds or 23 seconds. Posts with images do well, and then try posts with no images at all that may be longer form. So take advantage of LinkedIn's character space and try a combination of longer form posts with no image, try short form posts where you're just asking a question, try polls. So I did a poll last week on what you guys want help with most. And a lot of you said to optimize your profile. So I encourage you to use lots of different types of content to test what is good for your market. Okay, Norman. Hi, Norman. Norman says, would you consider LinkedIn to be a good source to reach small business owners and entrepreneurs with 1 to 5 employees? My perception is that LinkedIn is for professionals and employees mainly. LinkedIn has a ton of founders on it, actually. It is a great place for small business owners and entrepreneurs in the B2B space, Norman. So it depends on your target market. What industry are you going after? And then I can help answer that question a little bit more clearly for you. Okay, so going back to Steve's comment or question on how much content is enough. So it's funny you bring this up because I've been connecting with people who are posting almost too much content. And there is such a thing as posting too much content because of the way the algorithms work and the people's connections, right? So with influencers that have hundreds and thousands, if not millions of followers, posting a lot of content on LinkedIn works because they have so many followers. But when you don't have as many followers, it actually can hurt your reach to post too much. So I know people who post like 3 times a day on LinkedIn and their posts are hardly getting any reach because they might not be the most quality posts. They're decent, but they're not super high quality. And then I know people who are posting super high quality posts and they might be doing it too much. They could even be doing it once or twice a day and they're really awesome, but it might be too much because of where they're at right now and with their target market. So their efforts are better spent building relationships in conjunction with that content and cutting back a little bit. So I would say like a post a day is maximum. I don't think you should do any more than that on LinkedIn. Twitter, completely different scenario. Facebook groups and stuff like that, totally different. So I'm mainly talking about LinkedIn here. Personally, I feel like once a day, for those of you who have, under 10,000 connections, under 20,000 connections, right? If you have 100K plus followers on LinkedIn, what I'm telling you is not suitable for you, okay? So this is for people who have smaller followings, like under 10,000, typically maybe even under 20,000. I have 20,000 and I wouldn't even spend my time posting daily. Not right now with where I'm at. So my answer is, 3 to 5 times a week is great. If you can only do twice a week, that's awesome too. So do whatever you got to do, but it needs to be quality and you need to focus on that quality. And if you're noticing that you're posting a lot and your reach is going down, then cut back on the number of posts you're doing. It's not about how many posts you're doing. It's about the quality and is it resonating with people? Are they engaged? Do they like it? Are they finding value? And is it moving the needle and and creating an ROI? And I can tell you, and I'll get into here in a second, I'm going to give you some content topic ideas for you to get started. But before I do that, I want to explain how I know that my content is working. So everything that we do in this world of promoting ourselves as a business owner and hiring agencies like ModGirl and hiring consultants, it's all about ROI, right? So at the end of the day, what is your ROI that you're getting from this? So that's what you want to know, whether you're hiring someone like us to do it for you or you are doing it yourself. But ROI is not all about revenue too. So everyone has different goals. It could be, are you getting in front of the right people? Are you building those relationships? Are you starting conversations? Do you have these opportunities coming in? But for a lot of people, it is revenue. Personal branding and stuff like that is a little bit different. But how I know that my content is working is because when I get on phone calls with prospects, every single one of them makes a comment about my content, literally. But keep in mind that we are leveraging LinkedIn to grow ModGirl. So we are leveraging LinkedIn as an outreach platform to build relationships with targeted prospects who then check out my LinkedIn profile and they follow me and they follow my content. And so when I get on the phone with them, they're like, I love your content. It is so great. It's impressive. I love what you're doing, et cetera, et cetera. And so when I hear that, I know that my content is working. Or if people are reaching out to me and saying, I love your content, let's talk. I want to do this for myself. It's working. Now for me, because I am in the thought leadership game, I kind of have to walk the walk, right? And talk the talk. I have to do what I'm telling you guys to do. Otherwise, why would you listen to me? Why would you hire me if I don't have any content myself? So because I am in this game of this thought leadership world where I am helping people like you become thought leaders to grow and impact your industry and make an impact on your customers' lives and grow your business and impact yourself and your family, of course, This is what I do for people and my team. We create content for people. We build up people's thought leadership. We leverage LinkedIn. So for me, I have to do this. I love it. This is what I love doing, obviously. So, but I have to do it because that's what I'm selling. Not everyone is like that. I don't even know if any of you on here right now are doing what I'm doing and offering thought leadership. If so, awesome. But if you're not, you have to be smart about the ROI on the content you're putting out there. And you have to recognize, is it working or is it not working? And you can't just go on for months on end with it not working and then just keep doing the same thing over and over again. I think that's what Einstein said, right? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again without a different result. Isn't that his quote from Einstein? I'm pretty sure. That goes for content marketing too. So you have to be smart about it, and you have to make sure that it's working and it has a purpose. And that's why you have to have a plan, and you have to test, and you have to have the proper target audience. So you need to make sure that you're speaking to your target audience there, okay? What kind of, Norman, what industries though? So I know micro, small business owners, but what industries are we talking about? Is it B2B or is it B2C? Okay, now going back to content topics. So I wanna give you guys kind of what we do at ModGirl when we work with clients and really for ourselves. So when you're first starting this content game, or let's say you haven't really been doing content the right way or the way that you think you should be, and you've mainly just been doing it for the sake of doing it. So they're just like maybe simple posts, maybe linking to your website, but not putting thought into it and creating like custom weekly content or however frequently you want to do it. You should always start with when you're putting together a content plan, you should always start your content with you and your why and the human element of your brand before you get into educating people, because that's going to let people in on who you are and why you do what you do. So when we work with clients, we put together a content calendar and content schedule, and we start with, okay, let's make some posts about your why, about your passion, what gets you up in the morning, why did you create this business in the first place, why did you work for this company in the first place? If it's an executive of a company, why did you choose to work with this company, and why did you choose to go down this career path that you're on? And so it opens them up a little bit. It's that kind of vulnerable aspect of, this is me as a human and why I do what I do as a professional. And these are my passions, and this is why I like helping people, okay? So that should be the foundation when you launch this more strategic content marketing plan, is that angle. Then you need to think about your customer's journey and what that looks like, that buyer journey, which is very different for B2C and B2B. And we're mainly talking about B2B here, obviously, because I'm talking about LinkedIn and I'm on LinkedIn. So you have these different stages that people go through. You have the awareness stage, the consideration stage, and then the decision stage. So with B2B, people like being educated. They like learning about things before they decide to purchase it. So when you have the heart of your business, and you have that portrayed in your content and in your profile, by the way, you need to have that too, then you can kind of move on to those different phases and what that looks like. So what is it that you offer, and what value do you bring? What are the pain points from your specific customers? What are the challenges that they're facing? And then turn that into an educational post. So pain points, you should have a list. You should have all of this documented, you guys. Your target market, their buyer personas, what keeps them up at night, what challenges they're facing, and then how your solutions can help them. And then you can make micro content from that. So have different ideas. Okay, I'm gonna go over each one of these 5 main pain points that Susie Q, buyer persona number 3, has, right? So everyone has these buyer personas with different names. Most people do, most companies do. So if Susie Q has 5 main pain points, I'm going to make content. I'm gonna create a Google Doc, and I'm just writing all of them down. Pain point number 1, pain point number 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to start off by saying something catchy, right? So if you look at my LinkedIn posts, I don't do this all the time, I try to make the hook engaging in the beginning. So when you're on LinkedIn, you're only going to see, those first few lines before you click read more. So you want that to be engaging. So you would start off something like, how many times have you done XYZ only to realize that it fell flat on its face. You know, something that instantly calls out that pain point to where the person that's reading it is like, yep, been there, done that. That's me, right? Then you want to lead into, you know, being empathetic, empathize with their situation. You know, you're not alone. Blah, 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 blah. Happens to many, whatever they are, you know, SaaS CEOs. Then educate them. Really, in order to, you know, XYZ, solve the particular pain point, you only need to have these 3 things in place. Then list 3 things, but keep it broad enough, and then you can have a call to action at the end. This is exactly why at Mod Girl we do what we do. You want to see how we can help you, you know, blah, 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 reach out. So you start with that hook, call out their pain point, build on the emotions, have them really genuinely feel that, like, yeah, man, that's me. That makes total sense, and they're speaking to me. Give them a little bit of education on the broad picture of how they can fix it, and then they come to you, the expert, to help them fix it. So that's how you kind of tie in the pain points with the solutions, with the emotions, and the education. And you could do this all day long because there's so many different pain points that people face. And so people in the B2B world, they want to be educated and they want to feel like they are heard. So it's not just about education, it's about that personalized education. That's why it's so important that you guys are super crystal clear on who you're going after and what they're facing on a day-to-day basis. So the challenges that are coming up, not just for them, but on the horizon for the industry as a whole. I mean, this is prime time with what's happening in our world right now, that you could talk all day long about challenges that companies are facing that you're working with or that you're targeting, and then challenges that they might be facing on the horizon or changes that are coming up. And so if you position yourself as that expert, people are going to want to talk to you and reach out to you because you're on the cusp of this and you're sharing this information of what people are going through right now and what they can do to improve and to grow despite the conditions that they're facing. Does that make sense? And tie in customer stories. That's huge. So anytime you can tie in, Mr. Smith was also feeling this way, going back to the pain points. We helped him ABC, and now he is XYZ. So if you can tie in a little bit of that social proof too, that helps a ton in the content marketing aspect. Okay, so I have a lot of notes here. As you guys know, I could talk about all of this forever, but we're getting at the top of the hour here. So Norman said, micro small business owners of 1 to 5 employees. Most of our clients are solopreneurs. It's B2C like Dropbox or Evernote. We don't do contracts. It is SaaS. You can definitely do well. So Anthony says you can definitely do well with solopreneurs or entrepreneurs 1 to 5 employees. What Mandy is saying will work with either group as there are a lot of them on LinkedIn. Yes. No, I think that target market, Norman, will work on LinkedIn. So there's a ton of opportunity for you on LinkedIn. You just have to be smart about it. And if you leverage Sales Navigator, you can figure out who is active on LinkedIn, and that might help you hone in on that specific target market. Okay. So hopefully that helps. And if you guys want some help with your profile, so what we are doing right now is offering, like I said, if you are joining me live right now, which many of you are, and you comment, make sure to comment, you're going to be entered to win a mini LinkedIn makeover. If you check out the link that I just shared, that is a free checklist you can utilize to optimize your profile. And then you can apply for a mod LinkedIn makeover there as well. So I would love to help you guys. If you are leveraging LinkedIn to grow your business, you can either shoot me a message or download that checklist and fill out the form to apply for your makeover. But LinkedIn is a goldmine right now. You just have to be strategic about how you're using it. You have to be smart about it because all of us have limited time in the day, right? Time is of the essence. Time is so precious and so valuable. So it's all about maximizing that time and making sure you're spending time doing the right things. And posting content all the time is not usually the right answer. As much as I love content, you have to be smart about it, and you have to make sure you have a great balance between the content you're putting out there and the outreach that you're doing as well. Awesome, Hugh. I am so glad you found that beneficial. Did you guys let me know in the comments if you found this helpful? So everything I talked about today, if you found it beneficial, let me know. Maud says, thanks for the insights. You are welcome, Maud. So yes, let me know in the comments, and I'm happy you guys have found it helpful. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to help you guys out. Obviously, if you want my personal help and my team's help and carrying out these things for you, even if it's on just a strategic basis, if you just want some help with your profile and some tips and some strategy, and you want to carry it out yourself, maybe you don't have the budget to hire an agency on a monthly basis, that totally is fine too, and we can still help you put together the pieces and the foundation. That way you're not just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it sticks, because we've been doing this for a while. We're constantly studying it. We're in the mix. We are working with this, for ourselves, for my personal profile and clients in a variety of industries. So we have a lot of insights and experience on this, and that's why I'm here doing this for you guys and helping and sharing these insights. But also, I'm here to help you guys take it a step further if you want at all times. Okay, Will says, happy Thursday. Thanks for these sessions. Great stuff again. Awesome, Will. Glad you found it helpful. Rich says, thanks, Mandy. Very helpful. Perfect. I'm so glad you guys found this helpful. And we're going to continue this conversation, of course. So if there's any other topics on the LinkedIn front or thought leadership in general that you want me to talk about in the coming weeks, feel free to send me a message or comment here and we will get to it. And thank you guys for hopping on and commenting, and you will officially be entered to win the mini LinkedIn makeover. And don't hesitate to reach out if you guys need help with LinkedIn or thought leadership at any time. Okay? So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next Thursday, same place, same time. All right? See ya. Enjoy the rest of your week and weekend.